Hey folks, it's Rithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Farming Simulator here in the Pacific Inlet logging map. I was just over here having a little bit of a break, having second breakfast. I'd had first breakfast, but quite frankly, that wasn't enough, so I was having some second breakfast. The antisocial person over there in the garage, he refused to talk to me. He did at least sell me a few packets of crisps and stuff. I'm not eating healthy. It's got to be said, I'm not eating very healthily while I'm over here. I'm staying in this place. I'm really not. We're playing on keyboard steering again today. I might do some normal steering next week, but I was actually thinking about doing normal steering this time because we're going to be getting a tree harvester going. At least I'm hoping. And then I thought, you know what? I think it could actually be interesting trying to use the tree harvester with keyboard steering. So that's what I'm going to do. No mods either for helping with the keyboard steering either. Just to add in a little bit of extra challenge. So let's back our little stayer in here and get you hooked on. Go on, a little bit more. And there we go. And we'll put the front weight on as well. Maybe glad of this, just an extra bit of traction on the ground to help us tow the trees around. We don't actually need to do much in the way of cutting up of timber or anything like that. We don't need to do anything fancy. All we have to do is get a tree back over here and sling it in the ground. I'm not going to do that though. I am going to tidy it up and do it properly. Just because I want to. I feel the need. I feel that we ought to do that. So let's bring you back over to here and stop a minute. Now, have I got any wedges around these stumps? Yes, there is a wedge. I thought there might have been. So I'm going to take this one over and chuck it in. $5 is $5. We'll take that and sling that one into the lake. There we go. There we go. $5. See? It all adds up. It's all part of the all part of the finances, or it all becomes part of the finances. So let's hack this. Let's hack this one down here, and then once we've done this one, we are going to go and get our tree harvester. And yeah, I don't need to cut this one up at all. I can just drag it over and sling it in. But I'm thinking I'm going to cut it up anyway, just because I'd like to this last one. And you know, we've put in some whole trees. I think it would be good to put in a you know, chop one up at least. Chop one more up before we go on to the tree harvester bit. Before we do the tree harvesting, I'm going to get a... Let's just sling that one in there. $3. It's not so much. We'll get about $2,000 from this tree. Maybe as much as $3,000 because of how much we're getting on it. I want to go there and then I press B and that fastens it onto there. It might struggle a bit to pull this one out because of where it is against that tree stump. Oh no, hang on. I need to put it onto there and press B. Now start that one up and there we go. Right. Press shift. That brings it in a bit faster. And haul that tree all the way up until it's close behind the tractor. And then once we've done that, there we go. Now we can start moving. Can I get this tree between these two? I don't know. I think it... Oh, I can. Okay. Right, I like that. I want to get rid of the tree stumps that are on the ground here before I start the tree harvester work, because they're definitely going to be in the way. They're going to be sort of causing us a few problems, I think, so I'd like to get rid of them. I'd also like to gather up the wood chips that are currently scattered around on the ground, so I want to get another mod going for that as well. And then once we've dealt with those, and we've sort of tidied everything up, so here I go Shift B to get rid of that one. There. I can bring this over, and yeah, I need to change over again. I need to put the other one on, so I'll do that in a minute. We'll bring you back here and drop you off there. And then I can put the front weight up this end, and we'll lower that one down. Put you on that way, and then spin round, and then we can go and get our loader on. We're not going to use the loader just yet. We're going to do a bit of chainsaw work, and then when we've done that, then we can go and get... There's some more mods that we want to get going. One for picking up the wood chips, and one for doing the trees. For doing the trees, the stumps. We want the stump grinder. And I'm not going to get a mod on that one at the moment. I'm just going to use the regular game stump grinder. And I'll get the modded one that goes on front loader. We'll do that a bit later on. I'm not going to worry about it at the moment, though. So, first up, let's just go along and clean off a few branches here, just to make our life a little bit easier. It's surprising how much easier it makes it when you can actually see the trees. And you can sort of see what you're doing by just cleaning off the ends of some of these. You don't even need to clean all of them off. Just a few of them. It makes a huge difference. Like that bit there. Especially on the ends of a load of these branches. Let's come over this way. I've got some on the tree there. Now I don't. We can clear them away. And up there. Right, now we go up this way. Right. There's a lot of stuff on this one. Hang on. There we go. Let's get you out. And over this way. There we go. Right. Oh. We'll chop the rest of that off before we worry about that anymore. So I want to get that branch. Actually, if I come over to this side, I've a better chance of getting that branch off neat and tidy where I kind of want to take it. Which would be about there, I think. That's a good angle. So we'll have that one off there, and then we've got another one right there on the top that we can take off. Get you out. And we'll be able to chuck these two into the lake. Like that. And I want to take off this main one here on this side. Right there. Actually, where do I want to go? There. Let's bring that out a bit, and we take that one off. I think I've got most of the... Well, I think I've got all of the branches off on this side, on this one here. Oh, no, there's one up there. There's actually a couple up there. Just want to get that bit. There we go. Right, that's that one cleaned off there. And then this one up here on the top as well, I think, is clean. Yes, that one's clean. Right, so if I separate you out a minute... You over here, if I can pick you up... This is the difficult bit, is actually picking them up. There we go. It can be difficult. If the spike is in the ground a little bit, it does seem to make life quite difficult for trying to pick them up. So there's 300. And then this one here, this is all clean now. Just going to chuck this, so I'm not going to bother cutting it up into smaller pieces. That one can fall over the edge there. 300, there's almost 800 there. So I'd say we've got 1,100 so far. Then I've got one here that can come out, and that one can go in. So we've got 1,100. That makes 1,250. Let's just clean this along here a minute. There. And then cut here on that bit like that. So we're on 1,250, I said. Isn't it? I think it's 1,250. Yeah, 1,250. Come on, hurry up. And then we can take this one here. It's the last one there. And this one will go in. So 1,250 plus that bit there. That makes another 350. So we're looking at 1,300, 1,600. So we're 1,600 in at the moment. Let's have you there. And get my joystick going. There we go. Right. Grab you. Pick up that log there. And, right, don't drive off the edge. That's the only thing that we don't want to do. There we go, that's gone in. That was 1,600, I said. So that's 1,750. 3,750. 3,750 on that one lot. That's not bad, actually. That is pretty good, that is. 1,750 is particularly good. I'm actually quite pleased with that. Now I want to take this front loader off. There, and I don't think we need the front weight for the next bit. I don't think it's, you know, this is a very heavy front weight, and I don't think we actually need it at all for this next bit. So we'll take that one off there. And I'll go and get the next one. So what is the next one? What am I going to use next? I'm thinking we'll actually get the stump grinder, and we will grind up the stumps that need to be done first. Do that bit first, and then we can go back and we can pick up all of the wood chips, because the stump grinder does produce some wood chips as well anyway, so it'll just be a bit easier if we do it like that. So we get that one there, and I'm not going to buy it. I'm just going to lease it because of the whole money situation. This way I don't have to cut up any more trees by hand with chainsaw at the moment. I can hurry up and sort of get a move on and get the tree harvester going, which I'd quite like to do. Let's bring you back up to here. Go on, a bit further. There we go. Right. We run out this way, and we can start chopping up these trees. Not trees, the tree stumps. We can start slicing up these stumps now. We're going to need to do this. We've got to get these tree stumps out of the way, because we're going to be... Right, we lower you down a bit. And there. Right, hopefully... sometimes tree stumps are very, very easy to remove, especially with this grinder. This grinder is particularly good for it. Sometimes they're not. It does kind of depend sometimes on the tree and the model that has been used. If the tree has sort of been played around with a little bit before it was put into the map, it can cause some headaches, and it can be a bit of a nuisance. But so far, these seem alright. And also, the trees that we've been cutting, they've seemed pretty good as well. I haven't really had any problems with cutting any of the trees down. The trunk has gone right down into the very ground. We've not had any odd textures on the trees either, which makes me think that at the moment, we shouldn't have any major problems with any of the trees at all. Occasionally, you'll see a map, and you'll go to cut the tree, and you've got to, like, cut it 17 times with a chainsaw in order to be able to get the thing to fall over, and then it catapults away, and you are there for absolutely ages trying to cut the tree stump itself and get that one out of the way, and some of them won't go at all, and quite frankly, it's a headache. And it's a headache you don't need. And so it's quite nice to be able to come onto a map here where we don't have any of that. I got none of these issues whatsoever with this one at the moment. There, that's all gone. Oh no, a bit more there. It's grinding there. Right, what am I grinding there? See, you do occasionally get a bit. So we're grinding something there that possibly shouldn't even exist. Oh, hang on a minute. I know what that was. It left like a little wedge there for some reason. It produced a wedge off of the tree stump, and then it kept trying to cut it. That's all that was. Nothing major. All right, let's back this one up to here and get that next one. Oh, I see. There. Right. Chop you into there, and we've got another big pile of wood chips. That's gone down into the ground a little bit, so we've got to just do another slice on that one. It's now gone. All taken out. Next one over here. Now, this is the one where we've got some of the wood chips have gone like right under the water from where the tree fell quite far into the lake and caused us a bit more of a problem. Should still be okay, though. Go on. Another bit there. There we go. It's going to go. Okay, so we got a tree stump there that's like into the ground again. We got another one of those. Sometimes you've got to move it around a little bit just to catch the edge. There we go. With the sawdust mod, by it producing the wood chips from likes of the wood chipper here, if you get the edge of the stump, you get the action which also then activates the mod and produces wood chips. But it's not quite got the hitbox for the actual stump itself, so that's why you end up sort of cutting the tree stump but not doing anything. It's a little bit odd, and it does take a bit of getting used to, but one, you can use it as a quick cheat to produce some wood chips, although, quite frankly, if you're going to use it to produce wood chips, it's a very, very slow money earner, because the rate that it puts out wood chips is very, very low. Right? It's extremely low. You'd have to leave it producing wood chips continuously for several hours for it to actually be effective. There are much better ways to like use game bugs or use a mod introduced game bug that can generate you a little bit of income. There is much better ways of doing it than that. Just bring that over there. Bring you through. Right, you're all done. And there's one there. I think that's it, actually. I think that's the last tree stump. I just needed to get rid of most of them. So if there does happen to be like another one kicking around somewhere, we're not going to worry about it. I just wanted to get rid of most of the tree stumps just to make life a little bit easier for traveling backwards and forwards with the tree harvester while we dump the trees into the lake. There, so we'll get that one stopped. And we'll bring this one over here, and we will put it into the corner over here. I don't think the next vehicle actually has any colour options on it. So far, everything we've got has been red, and I actually quite like this. I've not done this before, having everything all carefully colour coordinated like this. But I'm pretty sure the next one only has the default option, which is green. So we've got now one item that is going to be a slightly different colour to everything else. Go over here to Morgan's Massive Motors, and it's not a particularly massive thing that we're after. I don't think it's under forestry, though. I think it's under a different thing. I don't remember where it is now. It might be under miscellaneous. I'd like to be able to use this one later on. That's it's good fun using that one. And what else have we got in here? It's not in here, although we possibly we'll be using that one later on as well. That is an excellent mod. That is absolutely brilliant. So if it's not in those, it could very well be under tippers. Oh, yes, there it is. The Joskin 3-point tipper. This is one that I want. We do not have. We got standard with loading wall with extension grid or standard. Gonna try a loading wall on this one. New design or used. I think we're going to have an old battered one, and we're going to lease it so that we've still got plenty of money for our other beastie. Oh, nice. Okay, so the loading wall, it is actually quite a bit higher, and the texture on that for the used model, that is absolutely fantastic. I didn't realize it was like that. That is brilliant. Because I've only ever got those as new before, so that is absolutely fantastic. That is brilliant. Look at it. An old, rusty link box. You just don't see farmers using link boxes anymore. Right? This used to be like the mainstay of small farms. Every farmer had a link box. If you needed to cart a load of stuff around, you put it in the link box. You carry it around. Going fencing, you took a link box. And now you have tractor-mounted post drivers and a load of other stuff. I never see link boxes anymore. I used to see tractors driving around with link boxes all the time. You'd have a sheep in the back, you'd have fencing gear in the back, literally, you'd have everything that you could think of would be in the back there somewhere, and it just doesn't happen anymore. I don't know what's happened to farming, but yeah. Oh, and it's got a chain on the back as well. This is brilliant. This is absolutely brilliant. Right, now the idea with this is I lower it down like that with the door open, and you pick it up like this. You just sort of scoot around going backwards. Like that there. Here we go. And all the way around. All the way around. There we go. Oop, steady. And just keep going. And this will pick up about 3 tons. Actually, I think it's more than that. 4 tons. It looks like it's almost 4 tons. We're going to get 4 tons of wood chips into this thing. So I've picked up all of those. Pick you up like that. Oh, actually, I'm wondering. I think the extensions, the high extensions on the side, they actually allow you to put some more in. Now, does it work going forward? Some of the machines actually... Yeah, it does. It doesn't pick it all up when you go forward. Oh, I think maybe it does. Right, so we pick that one up like that, and then we use the mouse just to control the bit there. But we've got 4,000 litres in there. I think if you don't have the high sides on it, it actually ends up with a lower amount. So bring it over here like this, and then it does actually tip, I believe. Unfold. Lower. Right, X is unfold. I'm not sure if unfold is tip. We're going to find out in just a moment if unfold is tip. We back it up to here. There, and then X. Right, if I bring that back, so yeah, you can tip, so I'm gonna just do that to undo the edge, and then I'm going to unfold, and it tips out. Once you open the gate, it tips out, and money has gone in, $1,200 from it tipping out. Just put that one up so we don't break the chain while we're bouncing along. $1,200 from 4 tons of wood chips. That's pretty good, actually. How much are we getting for wood chips, then? Let's have a look along here, and it says $300 per 1,000 litres. Yeah, that does actually make a bit of sense. I probably could have added that up in my own head if I thought about it a little carefully, but yeah, I didn't. Right, we'll put that one down. It's ready to roll. And we come over to here, and then lower you down. So you can see there, I did have some jump into... I'm going to try driving over this forwards and see how quickly it picks it up. It does. It does this sometimes some buckets I've noticed they will pick up whether they're going forwards or backwards, so long as the thing is on the ground. Others, they don't. So what we've basically got here is I'm doing it much faster than the eye can see. I'm pausing the tractor, I'm jumping out, and I'm shoveling this stuff in, because you wouldn't actually use a link box to drag it along the ground like this and pick the stuff up, or not normally anyway. You might very occasionally, there may be the odd circumstance where you would do something like this, but usually you would go up to the heap, put the link box on the ground, and then fork it in by hand. And you wouldn't be sort of doing... Oh, actually, we've loaded up now. So I lift that one up there. And close that one up there. We'll go and take this lot back, and then we'll come back. We'll get one more load of wood chips. I'm not going to keep any more than that. Do any more than that. We'll just do the 3 loads. I think that's plenty. Then we can we can lease ourselves a wood chipper. A wood chipper? A tree harvester. And we got the tree harvester, and we'll be dragging the trees right back to the lake and just cutting them in directly. I'm hoping that is going to work quite nicely. So we'll bring that one over there and tip it out. So we get another $1,200. Fantastic. Put you back up. We're on 30 grand now. $30,000. And we haven't even started on the pine trees yet. And we all know that the pine trees are the money earners. Those are the ones that bring in the big boys' cash. And we're about to get a whole load of them underway. So let's just drop you down there and back up. We get this little heap of wood chips right here. She's got quite a lot of wood chips right here. Okay, so we produced more than I thought when we were doing the stumps here on its edge. Grab that bit there. And I think what I might do for when I'm picking up more wood chips later on is, rather than running off and selling each link box full, I might try and do it slightly differently, whereas I just get link box, and I use the link box for gathering it all up into one place, but then I just like keep tipping it out into bigger heaps, and then we can come along with something else afterwards, and we can load up the bigger heaps to sell them all in one go. Or we could buy a storage facility of some kind and store up the wood chips until we get like a great demand or something like that, because I think we're getting to a point where we can sort of start to hold some produce in order to save money. In fact, I think by the time we're done with clearing this field of trees, we'll be at that point. No, I don't want to do that. I'm going to do that, and then press X again, and then fold it back up. Right, so that'll do for the link box work for a minute. $31,700 so far. We have a loan. How much is our loan? I can't remember now. The loan is at $300,000. So we'd like to be able to pay off our loan fairly early if we can, because obviously that's less expense for us going out, which would be absolutely great. Just bring you back round. I'm not going to need this tractor for a while, so we'll just leave it parked up here with the Joskin on board. Lower you down there. And switch you off. Right. So there's that bit. Next up, we're going to get a tree harvester. Where, oh where is my tree harvester gone? It's in here. And tree planting. Now, there's something that I haven't done in a very long time. In any game. I might do some of that. Okay, I will take you, and I like the idea of having tracks, so that is going to take me up to a solid 26,000. I'm going to take you. There we go. And that still leaves me with 5 grand. Not too shabby. Right, now let's see how I do with this one with keyboard steering. Right, the thing that I... See, this is one thing with any articulated steering machine in this game. It does tend to slide one side around rather than like bending them both in the middle. It tends to sort of have one part of it slide sideways, which is a little bit unrealistic, so I'm hoping that they kind of worked on the mechanics of that a little bit for the next version of the game. It's something that we'll have to wait and see. Now, how are we going to do this? I reckon if I bring it up over here, it doesn't really matter. Keyboard steering is actually quite easy with this, because I get it sort of roughly in position first. Then afterwards, then I do this over here, because I still do this one on the mouse. I do have a joystick, but you kind of need 2 joysticks to be set up in order to be able to use these very effectively. One joystick just doesn't really seem to cut it. So I've not really bothered with using one joystick on this. And what I did instead, let's bring that over there. Now, the problem I've got is that I've just put that one the wrong way round. So if I swing you round like that, I need to do it the other way next time, but I'll bring you up towards the edge of the lake like that, and then we do want to just make sure that we've changed this one to 8 meters. So do that. There we go. 8 meters. That's the maximum that you can do. See, if I go again, it goes back down to 1 meter. So we go up to 8 meters like that. And let's get rid of you. And then press X to slice. Are you going to slice and dump in the lake? It's right on the very edge. And nope, that's okay. So long as it goes to roughly the right point. That's right. So 2,000 there. 2,000, almost 2,300. I think we could call that 2,300. And that one goes in, and that is 1,600. So that is 3,800. Almost 3,900. And then that one there, 3,900, 4,400. 4,400 for one single solitary tree. And I do it that way, like that. And then I bring this one back, sort of like this. There. And now all I got to do is go through and cut down this entire forest. As I say the entire forest, I don't actually mean the entire forest. I just mean this area here. And what I'm thinking is, I'm going to cut down some of them, like this. But not all of them. So I'll bring you over there. And put you out that way a bit. There we go. We'll just do it like that. Yeah, if I cut down some of them, and then I'm going to get bored with doing this after a while, so I'm going to do it for today, and then I think what I might do is I might just sort of chop them where they lay and get an auto-load log trailer, because auto-load log trailers are brilliant, and I just love them, and they're amazing. So we'll do this a bit, and then when I'm bored with it, I'll get the old auto-log log trailer running. Because the idea of this series is in part to do sort of some stuff in this game that I don't usually get to do. Some of the more tedious tasks that I occasionally will attempt to do a little bit of in time-lapse. But also is just for me to kind of play around with little things that it's kind of like a series where I can just kick back and do stuff that I want to do without worrying about whether or not I'm like keeping it super entertaining. It's going to be slow paced. I sort of said that right at the beginning, so I'm not too concerned about how exciting it's going to be. If we spend an entire episode just going backwards and forwards doing trees, because that's what I feel like doing, you know, then so be it. And we'll just kind of ramble on and talk and carry on doing it, because I know that a lot of you play this game a huge number of hours. You probably play it more than I do, I play it for my various series that I do, but I don't tend to play the game very much in my... Well, actually, I don't play it at all in my own time anymore, because I have other games that I like to play in my own time now. And I go through, like, different phases of different games. This one I haven't played privately for probably more than a year now. And instead I play... There's a lot of different games. Lately I've been playing World of Warcraft, and those of you who've been watching the series, you know all about that. Those of you who've been watching this series probably know all about that as well. So yeah, I've been playing a lot of World of Warcraft lately. But that's only in the last month. I've played Witcher an awful lot in the last... Well, the last several months I've been playing Witcher a huge amount, and Skyrim as well. I always go back to Skyrim. That is a solid favourite of mine, Skyrim. I love that game. I absolutely adore playing Skyrim. It is such a cool game. I really do love it. So I've got a character on there that I've been working through, and so it really does sort of depend on my mood. But because I play this game so much for YouTube and for making the videos, I don't sort of get to an evening where I'm just going to chill out and do a bit of gaming. I sort of get to sort of sit down and think, you know, I really fancy playing some Farming Simulator, because I play it so much for the channel. But there's the odd little thing that I sort of want to do, and I thought, well, you know, like this, like having a logging map and turning it into a farming map, is one thing that I've wanted to do for quite a while. I did start to do something like this in the last time-lapse I did in FS17, the Hardworking 3 series. And I really enjoyed doing that. I did have a lot of fun doing that, and I thought, well, I'd like to do something like that again. From various different votes now that we've had from choosing maps, I know that some people would like to see me do this, but it's not like the most hugely popular idea. But I also know that a huge number of people want me to play more Farming Simulator anyway, and I thought, well, this is a happy medium. I'll be back to doing Farming Simulator episodes 6 days a week, Let's Play 6 days a week, plus the 7th day with the time-lapse. So you've got Farming Simulator 7 days a week, which I know there's a lot of people who have been wanting this for quite some time. Since I stopped doing Farming Simulator 7 days a week, there's a lot of people who've been waiting for this day, for this week, rather. So yeah, I kind of feel like I'm appeasing the people that want that. I'm also now sort of working into some of the bits that I've wanted to do personally for a while, but haven't proved to be all that popular. And I am, you know, the other series has been purely a popularity thing. Because I'm only doing the one series on there, I've been picking out the things that, you know, the majority of people want. But there seems to be a growing group of people that would like to see me do stuff like this. Just the small, like just kick back and do whatever I fancy, and maybe something slightly different, because this is slightly different. Taking a logging map and then turning it into a farming map is not something that everybody does, and it's the sort of thing that some people are really going to enjoy watching, and I appreciate that it's also the sort of thing that other people are not particularly going to want to watch. So I know that this series is definitely not going to be for everybody, but it's... I like to think that this is going to be a series that is going to appeal to some people, and they're going to be happy with it. It's also going to be a series of, you know, stuff that I can do in the game that I would either normally have to do in my own time or just not do. And because when I do get to doing my own personal gaming, like I said, I'm generally choosing other games to play. It's the sort of thing that I haven't gotten round to doing in gaming at all for a very, very long time. So I'm quite pleased about it. I've got to be honest. I am quite pleased about this. I'll take that one there. But yeah, some of it is going to be dull. Some of it is going to be, well, I say dull. It's going to be slower paced simulator gaming, and I'm trying to do this a little bit. Whoa! No! 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 Stop! 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 No! Oh. Seriously? That was not part of the master plan. That absolutely was. I can't believe I just did that. I looked. As I was driving towards the edge, I thought to myself, I ought to just slow down a little bit here, and I didn't. I didn't take my finger off the key, and I just kept going. I cannot believe I just drove that into the lake. I didn't even attempt to slow down until it was too... That was ridiculous. Right, now, big question. Do I reset, or do I not allow myself to reset? Because I can... Look, I can reset, okay? I can reset. I can put that one up there. But the question is... Do I allow a reset, or do I return this one and then lease again as penalty for throwing it in the lake? I'm thinking that I'm gonna actually make myself not have a free reset. If I've got to reset anything, I can, but I've either got to return a leased item, or, you know, if I drive it into the lake, I've got to return the leased item, or I've got to sell it where it stands. I can't even drive it to the thingy and then rebuy it or release it. So, you know, we've got, we do have penalty for it. So, yeah. That's what, I think that's what I'll do. I like this idea. Okay, so we will go to you, and we will return, which means that we've got to lease it again. That's brilliant. Okay, so don't drive it into the lake. And I am doing tracks again because I like tracks. I think it looks pretty good. There we go. So we're down to 14,000 now. That was awesome. That was genuinely awesome. Right, let's start you up. And I was doing it with it on that side. So let's keep doing it with it on that side. And we'll come over around here and turn you on. Like that. There we go. Right, and then back around like that. Now, if I bring you back round here, like this, there, I get that tree right there beside us. Let's bring you out a bit. There we go. Oop. It'd help if I could actually, like, paid a bit more attention to what I was doing here. And, right. Let's try this again, shall we? This time I vote that I don't drive it into the lake. I think that's a good idea. I also need to set that back to 8 meters. There we go. Right. That was brilliant. That was absolutely brilliant. So yeah, as I was saying, we've got sort of... It is simulator gameplay, and it's slow-paced simulator gameplay, doing the kind of stuff that I've wanted to do for a little while, but I don't generally have the time to go and do. I just thought it would be entertaining to do something like this. Certainly for me, and I'm hoping for some of you as well who are going to be watching the series that you'll quite enjoy the different pacing that I'm hoping to set on this one. You know, we're just going to stay here, and we're going to work on it. And I am going to be staying on this map until FS19 comes out. I'm not going to be chopping and changing maps on this one. I'm just here until I get the new game. Whenever that might be, this is where I'm staying. And then when the new one comes out, I will start off by looking at some of the new maps, as so many other YouTubers will be doing. You know, there's no way that I wouldn't be looking at the new maps and sort of seeing what the new game has to offer and so on and so forth. But once I've done that... Once we get a couple of new... Right, don't drive in there again, regardless of what this tree... This tree is going nuts at the moment. I'm not really sure what it's doing. If I bring you... Let's put you around like that. There we go. Right, that'll work. So, yeah, once the... there's a few new maps come out in FS19, I will probably move to doing a similar series, where I just kind of... I do one series where I have the map question, and I pay close attention to suggestions in the comments, and really go for it on there. And I have another series where it's much slower paced, and I just kind of do... whatever I fancy doing that particular week, and work through it like that. I'm kind of hoping that there is going to be some more logging maps, because I think this would be a pretty cool thing to try and do again. Although I don't know how quickly I would start doing another series like this. I might sort of wait several weeks before I start doing something like this again. We'll have to wait and see. Let's not get the tree too close to the log pile. I'll probably have a better chance at doing this. We'll bring that one out to there-ish, and then start slicing. Bring you out through. I've just about run out of time for today's episode, so we'll slice in a couple more trees. We have got considerably less money than we did have. I've had to go and spend an additional $26,000 on a second one of these, because I went and parked the first one right in the lake. And that is not a shallow lake. That is glacial, and it is extremely deep. It's like working on the edge of one of the fjords in Norway. And so it's extremely deep out there in the middle of that lake. There is no, the bottom of it is the sort of lake that up until 100, maybe 150 years ago, nobody could ever touch the bottom. If you dropped something into that kind of lake, it was never, ever going to be seen again, because it was just too deep. There was no physical way for a human to get to the bottom of the lake. And it was just one of those accepted things, that they were that deep. They were mysterious, and, whole religions were based around the depths of them, and mythology and all sorts was based around these lakes because of just how incredibly deep they were. And that's what we've got right here. So, yeah, that Ponzi Scorpion, unless somebody's got some sort of diving equipment, is probably going to stay parked on the bottom. So I think we've got off fairly lightly by only paying 26 grand. I mean, in actual fact, the 26,000, I think, more realistically, is the insurance. The insurance is what has paid for it all. Nothing else. Bring this one on. Well, I was going to say, I'm seriously considering, putting all of the trees in the lake. Just doing it like this, but I don't think I will. I don't think that's going to be something that I really want to do. It's going to take far too long to do that, because we're starting to have to travel a little bit further. I was just trying to clear this end of it a little bit, just to make life a little bit easier for us. Yeah, I don't think we will do that. If I am going to get an auto-load log trailer, what am I going to use to pull it with? I mean, we've got the trailer here. I should have two trailers. I've got one right there, that timber runner there. That one is not one of the mods that we want to worry about. It's actually a short one. It's not an auto-load. This one here is the auto-load. It clues in the name up there. Then I've also got in Lambo mods here is the other one. This one is retextured. That's not the reason that I got this one. It's not only retextured a little bit, but they've also added a rear hitch. That's why I got this one, was for the added rear hitch, so that I can do road trains with it. And that's very important to me, being able to do road trains. So the question is whether I get a tractor and just use a tractor to do it, or if I use one of these vehicles here. We've got the MAN 18-4 series there. That is a hook lift one. We've got the Tatra Phoenix over here. That's about it, really. I don't have very many mods for trucks. Got a few of them. I've got just about every mod that I've got in the game active on this map, which is a bit unusual. I normally only have a select few that I think I'll want for a particular series, but I thought, well, this one, I'm just going to go for all of them, and then we'll see what we do. So, like that one there, it's a 480 horsepower truck. Go to 580 horsepower there. That's quite a boost. If I wanted to really have a powerful truck and like a long road train, I need something altogether different. And I did have, I don't know if I've got it here at the moment. No, but I do have a truck that I've used previously. I used it in the Rattlesnake Valley series, which is a lot more powerful. It's got way more power in it, and that man there, engine setup, that goes up to 480 horsepower, that one does. This one here, engine setup, goes to 580 horsepower. But yeah, the truck that I used in the Rattlesnake Valley series, that one went to like 3,000 horsepower. It was utterly obscene. It really was. But it worked. It was really good. You know, that one there, 462 horsepower. Not sure. Maybe I will. Maybe I go with this one here, because that seems like fairly heavy duty. Plus, it's also got, well, actually, no, it's only the 480. It's this one here, isn't it? But the Tatra, the reason I like the Tatra Phoenix is because it's more of an off-road deal. See, we got the 6-wheel drive there, 462 horsepower on that one. I thought there was a bigger option. We've got this here, but this is a hook lift. And I didn't want a hook lift. I wanted so we got standard. I do have a trailer hitch. Could do it with a trailer hitch, but no, I don't think I will. And then you got the standard Tatra over here. This is an aggro truck, so it's better suited for doing off-road stuff. 462. 11 grand to lease that one, which is actually pretty good. So maybe we'll go with that. Maybe we'll do that. 11 grand to lease that one, and then we'll go, no, we won't do that one. We'll go over here, and we go for this one with the rear hitch. So we got the option for a second one later if we want it. So that one as well. And wheel setup, we go with the wide tyres on here, so that's there. So something like 12 grand. We've got the money for it. We've got the money for it now. We can actually do this. But we'll worry about that next time, because we've run out of time for today's episode. So if you've enjoyed this episode, then please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.